Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're diving into Looker Studio,
Oh, yeah.
which you might know is Google Data Studio's old name. So if
Mhm.
you've ever, felt like drowning in spreadsheets or
Yeah.
like wish your data could just like sing and dance for you,
Uh-huh.
this one's for you.
Yeah.
We're going to break down how Looker Studio can help turn those raw numbers
Right.
into those like aha moments. And the best part is it's totally free.
It's true. Looker Studio really is like leveling the playing field, making data visualization accessible to everybody, especially since it became part of Google Cloud.
Right.
Powerful insights without the price tag.
Yeah, I was going through like some articles, even found a YouTube tutorial.
Hmm.
And honestly, I was blown away by how easy it seems to use. We're
Mm.
talking drag and drop, beautiful charts, even the ability to blend data from totally different sources.
Oh, wow.
Like imagine seeing how a heat wave impacted your ice cream sales,
Mm.
alongside your social media engagement.
That's a great example of how Looker Studio helps you connect the dots in a way that spreadsheets just can't. It's not just about making pretty pictures, though. The real magic comes in when you start using those calculated fields.
Okay.
Think of them as custom formulas. They let you answer super specific questions about your data,
Got it.
like what's my average profit margin on products sold during flash sales?
Okay, so calculated fields are how we get those like nitty-gritty
Yeah,
insights tailored to what we need.
exactly.
But I have to confess, when I first saw calculated fields, my brain kind of went, oh, math. But the tutorial made it seem pretty straightforward.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And remember, Looker Studio is all about user friendliness. They designed it so that even if you're not like a data whiz, you can still create powerful formulas without breaking a sweat. It's like having a data analyst built right into the tool,
Okay.
gently guiding you.
Yeah. True. That's reassuring. So we've got data blending, calculated fields. It feels like Looker Studio is giving us the building blocks to tell a really comprehensive story with our data.
Exactly. That's one of the key takeaways here. Looker Studio is about empowering you to become a data storyteller. It's taking those raw numbers and transforming them into compelling narratives that everyone can understand, even if they don't speak data.
Yeah, speaking of making data accessible, one of the sources mentioned Looker Studio officially became part of Google Cloud
Mm.
back in August 2022.
Yep.
I'm curious, what kind of impact did that have on the tool?
That was a big moment for Looker Studio. It meant even deeper integration. With Google's suite of tools, Google Analytics, Google Ads, you name it, pulling in data from those sources is even more seamless now. Like they created this data ecosystem where
Yeah.
everything just flows.
So that quote we pulled from the Google Cloud blog about making the power of Google Cloud accessible to everyone, really starting to make sense.
I'm not kidding.
Not at all. And that accessibility is what makes Looker Studio so revolutionary. You don't need a massive budget or a team of data scientists to get started.
I love that.
All you need is a Google account and a thirst for insights. It's like they've ripped down the walls around data analysis and said, hey, come on in, everyone's welcome.
Haha, exactly.
So we've got this user-friendly tool that can connect to all sorts of data sources, and it's free. What's the catch?
Well, every tool has its limitations. I did come across an article that highlighted some of the downsides.
Oh, what?
For example, while Looker Studio offers a lot of customization, it's not as limitless as some of those super high-end and expensive business intelligence platforms out there. But honestly, for most users, the pros far outweigh the cons.
Why? It's about choosing the right tool for the job.
Yeah.
And for many of us, especially those who are just starting out with data visualization or don't need all the bells and whistles, Looker Studio seems like the perfect fit.
I'd agree with that. It's like the friendly neighborhood data superhero, here to help you conquer those data mountains.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the basics, the name change, the Google Cloud connection, the whole free thing, which still blows my mind. But how about we dive into some of those specific features that really make Looker Studio shine?
Let's do it. One of the coolest features is like the sheer variety of charts and graphs you can create. We're not just talking about basic bar charts here. Looker Studio has everything from interactive maps to heat maps to those fancy gauge charts.
Inactive maps, I bet those be amazing for visualizing like website traffic by region or
Exactly.
tracking a marketing campaign across different countries.
Exactly. And the best part is you don't need to be a design guru. To make them look stunning, Looker Studio has these built-in templates and themes that give you reports that like professional polish.
So it's like they've taken care of all the hard work for us, leaving us free to focus on what really matters, uncovering those insights.
Precisely. And it's not just about like static reports either. Looker Studio lets you create these dynamic dashboards that update in real time.
Okay.
Imagine having a live view of your key performance indicators, like website traffic, social media engagement, or sales conversions all in one place. Okay, that's seriously cool. I can see how that would be a game changer for anyone like running a business or managing a marketing campaign. No more waiting for those monthly reports to see what's working and what's not.
And speaking of collaboration, remember how we talked about Looker Studio being part of Google Cloud?
Yeah.
Well, that also means it's like seamlessly integrates with Google's collaboration tools, like Google Drive and Google Docs. So you can easily share your reports and dashboards with colleagues.
That's huge.
Get feedback in real time.
No more emailing spreadsheets back and forth or trying to figure out which version is the most up to date.
Exactly.
It's all right there in the cloud, ready for everyone to access and contribute to. It really does make data analysis a team sport, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And that's a key advantage of Looker Studio. It breaks down those silos
Yeah.
and encourages everyone to get involved in the data conversation. It's about fostering a data-driven culture. I'm loving this idea of data democratization. It's like Looker Studio saying, hey, data isn't just for the analysts or the executive, it's for everyone. Let's unlock its power together.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And it's not just about internal collaboration either. Looker Studio also lets you easily share reports with clients, stakeholders, even the public.
Oh, wow.
Imagine creating these beautiful interactive reports that tell the story of your brand, your marketing campaign, or your research project, and then sharing those reports with the world.
That's a powerful way to build trust and transparency and credibility. It's like saying, here's the data, folks. We're not hiding anything. Let's have an open conversation about what it means.
Exactly. And that visual nature of Looker Studio makes data so much more digestible and engaging. It's one thing to read through like a dense spreadsheet, but it's a whole other experience to see those numbers come to life in a chart graph or map.
It's like that saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's a data visualization is worth 1,000 spreadsheets.
I love that. And speaking of powerful visualizations, one of the features that really caught my eye was the ability to create custom filters and segments.
Okay.
This means you can really drill down into your data and explore specific subsets of information.
So it's like having a magnifying glass that lets you zoom in on the most interesting parts of your data.
Exactly. And this is where those calculated fields we talked about earlier come in handy. You can use them to create custom metrics that are specific to the filters and segments you've created.
Okay.
So for example, you could create a calculated field to measure the average order value for customers. Who found you through a specific social media campaign? The possibilities are endless.
I'm getting a little giddy here. This is like unlocking a whole new level of data analysis. It's like going from a basic flashlight to a high-powered searchlight that illuminates all the hidden corners of your data.
It's exciting stuff, isn't it? And it really highlights the flexibility and power of Looker Studio. You're not limited to just predefined metrics or reports. You have the freedom to ask your own questions, create your own metrics, and explore your data in a way that's meaningful to you and your goals.
You know, we keep talking about how user-friendly Looker Studio is, and I'm curious from your perspective, what are some of the features that really contribute to that ease of use? Is it the drag-and-drop interface, the templates, the intuitive layout?
It's a combination of all of those things. The drag and drop interface is definitely a big win. It makes building reports and dashboards feel almost like playing with building blocks.
Yeah, that sounds so much more fun than wrestling with complicated formulas and code, which is what I always imagine when I think about data analysis.
Right, and the templates are a lifesaver, especially for those who are just starting out. They provide a great starting point and give you a sense of what's possible. You can then customize them to your liking, adding your own data, changing the colors and fonts, adding your own branding.
So it's like they've given us a blank canvas. But with some helpful guidelines already in place, we're not starting from scratch,
Yeah.
but we have the freedom to make it our own.
Exactly, and the intuitive layout makes it easy to find the features you need and understand how everything works. It's like they've designed the tool with the user in mind, anticipating their needs and providing a clear and logical flow.
It sounds like they've really thought of everything. But, you know, I have to ask, with all this talk about user-friendliness and accessibility, does that mean Looker Studio sacrifices power or functionality?
Yeah.
Can it really handle those like complex data analysis tasks?
That's a great question. I think there's sometimes a misconception that user-friendly tools can't be powerful. But from what we've seen, Looker Studio really challenges that assumption.
Yeah, for sure.
While it is incredibly accessible and easy to learn, Looker Studio is packed with features that can handle some serious heavy lifting when it comes to data analysis.
Okay.
Remember those calculated fields we talked about?
Yeah.
They're not just for basic calculations. You can use those to perform advanced calculations,
Wow.
create custom metrics, manipulate text strings, and even work with regular expressions.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't data scientists, and I'll raise my hand here,
Yeah.
regular expressions sound a little intimidating.
Yeah.
The point is, Looker Studio has that depth for those who need it, right?
Exactly. It's like having different levels to the game. You can start with the basics, creating simple charts and reports, and as you get more comfortable, you can unlock those more advanced features and really push the boundaries of what's possible.
I like that. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure.
Uh-huh. I like that analogy. And speaking of adventures, one of the things that impressed me about Looker Studio is its ability to connect to such a wide range of data sources.
Right?
We've talked about Google Analytics and Google Ads, but it also integrates with things like SQL databases, spreadsheets, even social media platforms.
You're not limited to just one or two sources.
Yep.
You can pull in data from all corners of your business and get a truly holistic view. That's huge.
And with the power of data blending, you can even combine data from different sources to uncover even deeper insights.
Okay.
For example, you could blend your website traffic data with your CRM data to see how different marketing campaigns are impacting lead generation and sales conversions.
Wow, the possibilities are really starting to feel endless. It's like Looker Studio is giving us the keys to the data kingdom
Yeah.
and saying, go explore.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. And that's ultimately what I find so exciting about Looker Studio. It's not just a tool, it's a gateway to a world of data-driven discovery. It's about empowering everyone, regardless of their technical background, to unlock the power of data and use it to tell stories, make better decisions, and drive positive change.
Okay, before we get too carried away dreaming about data kingdoms, let's try to bring this back down to earth for a moment. If our listener is hearing all of this and thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but where do I even start? What advice would you give them?
That's a great question. First of all, I'd say don't be intimidated. Looker Studio is designed to be user-friendly, so even if you're a complete beginner, you can jump in and start experimenting.
Okay.
There are tons of great resources available online, including tutorials, blog posts, and even a vibrant Looker Studio community forum where you can ask questions and connect with other users.
It's like they've created this whole support system
Yeah.
to ensure everyone can succeed with Looker Studio. That's pretty cool.
It is. And my second piece of advice would be to start with a clear goal in mind.
Okay.
What questions are you trying to answer with your data? What insights are you hoping to uncover? Once you know what you're looking for, you can start exploring the different features and functions of Looker Studio and figure out how to use them to achieve your goals.
That makes perfect sense. It's like having a roadmap before you set out on a journey. You know where you're going, so you can choose the best path to get there.
Exactly. And finally, I'd say don't be afraid to experiment and have fun. Looker Studio is a powerful tool, but it's also a creative one. Play around with different chart types, experiment with different color palettes, and see what kind of stories you can tell with your data. You might be surprised at what you discover.
Love that. It's like we've come full circle back to that idea of data storytelling. Looker Studio is giving us the tools, but it's up to us to create the narrative, and that's pretty empowering.
It is, and I think that's a perfect note to end on. Looker Studio is more than just a data visualization tool. It's a platform for creativity, exploration, and discovery. So go forth, my data-driven friends, and let your stories unfold.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, we hope this deep dive into Looker Studio has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to unlock the power of your data. Until next time, happy analyzing.